There are moments, aren't there? Moments when the weight of something held too tightly begins to feel less like a source of strength and more like a burden. We often talk about holding on, about perseverance, about never giving up. And these are vital, necessary virtues. But sometimes the bravest act isn't the relentless push forward, but the slow, deliberate loosening of our grip. It's a concept that feels counterintuitive to the narratives we've absorbed, the stories of triumph forged in sheer willpower. We see the polished finish, the hard-won victory, and we assume the journey was solely about enduring. But what about the moments of quiet surrender, the strategic release that paves the way for something new? This is where the real work often happens, in the space we create by letting go. Think about it. We carry so much, not just physical possessions, but ideas, expectations, even versions of ourselves that no longer serve us. We cling to relationships that have run their course, to career paths that have dimmed, to old beliefs that no longer align with who we are becoming. This clinging isn't always born from stubbornness. Often it's rooted in fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of loss, fear of being less than we were or could have been. We convince ourselves that if we just hold on a little longer, if we just try a bit harder, things will somehow bend to our will. But the universe, in its vast and mysterious way, rarely works that way. It's more like a river. You can fight the current, exhaust yourself trying to swim upstream, or you can learn to navigate its flow, to let it carry you where you need to go. Consider the experience of scrolling through social media. We see curated lives, highlight reels of achievement and happiness, and in that constant bombardment of perceived success, we can start to feel a pressure to constantly be achieving, to constantly be moving forward, to always be adding to our repertoire of accomplishments. It's easy to feel like a failure if we're not constantly striving, constantly optimizing. We might be in a job that's draining our spirit, or a friendship that's become one-sided, or pursuing a goal that upon closer inspection no longer sparks joy. Yet the idea of stepping away, of admitting that something isn't working, can feel like a profound personal defeat. We worry about what others will think, about the perceived wasted time, about the void that might appear if we stop pushing. But this is where the deeper insight lies. The act of letting go isn't about weakness, it's about wisdom. It's about recognizing that energy is finite. Every moment spent clinging to what's no longer serving us is a moment we are not available for what could be. It's about understanding that sometimes the most powerful growth happens not through accumulation, but through shedding. It sheds its leaves, seemingly barren and vulnerable, but this shedding is essential for its survival and its eventual rebirth in spring. It's a necessary pause, a divestment that allows for future flourishing. We are not so different. Letting go requires a different kind of strength. It demands courage to confront the discomfort of uncertainty. It requires self-compassion to acknowledge that our paths can and should change. It asks us to trust that when we release what is no longer right for us, we make space for what is. This could be a new opportunity, a deeper connection, or simply a renewed sense of peace within ourselves. It's a quiet revolution, a personal recalibration. It's about finding the grace in transition, the liberation in release. It's about understanding that the end of one chapter isn't necessarily a failure, but the open invitation to begin writing the next, with a lighter heart and a clearer vision. So if any of this resonates, if these words have offered a moment of recognition, a feeling of being seen in the quiet struggle of letting go, then perhaps you might find value in joining this space. You can subscribe for more conversations that explore these gentle, human experiences. It's a journey we can share.